This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Howdy, howdy. How you doing?
Oh, very, very busy. I'm working
Shocker.
on a bunch of
Really?
stories. Working on
Yeah.
a bunch of stories right now, so I'm a little bit frazzled, to be honest. Lionel Messi, all my friends are saying how excited they are and how much fun it must be for me to be covering it, but it's really not. I mean, I've
I
gone
know.
from basically being the beat writer on this beat, with like oftentimes I was the only person at the practice and I had access to everybody and
Now
and
Greg
all
Cody's
that.
now Greg Cody's next to you, right?
And yesterday, when I went to the practice, I basically was reduced to one member of a horde of over 100 reporters, and the security guards don't know. They have new security guards. There's a lot of new enhanced security and different protocols. They don't know me from the reporter who just showed up, who doesn't know the difference between Leo Campana and Leo Messi. I mean, a lot of the reporters out there, they could not even name 5 players on the team. But everyone knows that Messi is a really big deal in the world and he's here. So we got to be there with our cameras and with our microphones. And so I'm literally having to push and shove my way so that I can at least see, because I'm not that tall. It's going to be a zoo and it's going to be a circus for a while. And yeah, it's a huge story. It's an important story. I'm glad that people are interested in reading everything that I'm writing. That's wonderful. But my job just became a lot more difficult,
Oh, I know.
just
I
from
know.
logistical
I don't envy
standpoint.
you at all. I mean, some people have told me,
No,
"Hey, oh, now you can go check it out." I go, I have no interest in going, dude. That's going to be a
yeah,
mess. That's going to be a circus. I have zero interest being there. I'll watch it on television. Super happy. I'll take my notes. I'll do everything I need to do my job. I don't care. I don't need to be in there. Like, really? And I go, you have no idea, dude. Yeah, it's just like it's what Michelle is saying. It really, now when it's so big like this, it kind of takes the fun out of it, to be quite
it
honest.
does. I mean, yesterday I was at the press conference with, it wasn't even with him. It was with, Joseph Martinez and Drake Callender. We're talking, and I'm standing there and Joseph Martinez is talking. And I moved just as a normal human movement. I moved 1 inch to my left while I was
Oh,
standing there. I shifted my weight from my right foot to my left foot, which moved my head 1 inch to this side. And a camera guy behind me is yelling at me, "Get out of my shot, get out of my shot, move, move." They're like, they, touch your shoulder and move your shoulder to the side to get out of the view. I mean, it's really not fun.
I
It's
know.
really not fun. I
I
mean,
know.
it's
I've
a
been at it.
huge story.
Yeah.
It's a huge story. It's a huge story. Everyone is interested in every tiny thing. He just went out to eat last night with his family for the first time. There's already videos all over social media about, when he came out, the fans that were waiting outside and taking selfies with him and so on. And he came here to have a more normal life. He came to the United States, to Miami, to have, to try to attempt for him and his 3 young kids and his wife to have a little bit more of a normal life
I
than
think
what
it'll
they have.
normalize. I think it'll
It
normalize a
will
little
normalize.
more.
It
But
will normalize.
right now, Santa Claus came to town, and so
Yes.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And so it'll
Yes.
get to a point where you're more used to him being in town. But right now, the biggest star in the world walked into town. Okay,
Yes.
literally bigger than anybody in
Literally.
Star Island or Hibiscus or anywhere off of Las Olas or up in Worth Avenue in Palm Beach. The biggest star in the world just parked his butt here in South Florida, and so
Yes. He has 470 million Instagram followers. 470 million.
more people than the
LeBron
United
has
States.
150,
More people.
140 or 150 for
That's
LeBron.
more than the people in the United States. We have
Yeah,
330 million in this country. That guy
right. He
has
has
more.
470 million, 470 million Instagram followers. He's beyond huge. And so he's here now. And this is the team I cover. And the team just changed drastically from, I mean, They still are, by the way, the last place team in the Eastern
I know.
Conference. And, when you look at the standings, Inter Miami is still where it was last week. They're in last place in the Eastern Conference standings. But now Messi is here. And every single thing he does, every place he eats, everywhere he goes, everything he and his family does, it's going to be news. It's going to make news. Everybody's fascinated. The fans are going out, just going to the stadium and like wandering around the sidewalks to get a glimpse, to see if maybe they'll see him or they'll see his car in the parking lot, or I mean, it's that kind of craziness. So there's a lot more security around the training facility and around the stadium. And just me as a reporter, I used to just walk in to the practices. There was a
Right,
guard there that would let me in. Oh, hey, Michelle, how you doing? How's your
right.
daughter? That's it, right? Now we have to RSVP in advance, and then they check our names on a list, and then we go single file. They have security checks. They're checking in all our bags, all our
Of course.
equipment. We
Yeah.
have to have a wristband on. That's just to go to a training session, which he didn't even train yesterday. This was for us to get in because maybe he'll be on site. His first training session that we'll get to see is going to be next week.
Okay.
So it's crazy. It's really crazy, but the hunger and the thirst for stories and for information and for social media posts. I mean, it's insane the number of I've gained a lot of Twitter followers, and my story page views have gone way up, and it's there's a lot of interest, a lot of interest. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the top beat in town now. I mean, that's just the way it is. Internationally, this is the top
Yep.
beat in town. We know the Dolphins will always rule the town, but from outside of Florida, everybody's going to be more interested in Inter Miami than anything else all over the world. You don't only have media; you have paparazzi now. No
Oh
other team
yes.
in
Oh
town.
yes.
No other team in town has paparazzi. Inter Miami now will have paparazzi following them around because of Messi. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how amazing this thing is, how much it's changed. So next week is the first practice. We got the Cruz Azul game coming up,
Well, first there's
obviously.
the unveil. Sunday is the unveil.
Right.
Sunday is the unveil ceremony. Doors open at 6. And just to let you know, for people who don't get to go or whatever, they will be
Apple.
showing it. It's going to be shown. It's going to be on free on Apple TV. You don't have to have the MLS season pass, or on MLSsoccer.com. I believe on the Inter Miami social media, platforms. So it will be able to be seen for free. You don't have to go. If you want to go to the stadium, be part of it. Of course, I'm sure people want to, but there will be ways to watch it. And during halftime of the Gold Cup, Fox and Univision are working out a deal where they're going to show a little clip at halftime of the Messi unveiling, him wearing his Inter Miami gear and all that stuff. So that whole ceremony is going to go on Sunday night. There's going to be, secret or not so secret musical guests. The names have been thrown around: Shakira, Bad Bunny, Maluma. Who knows what superstars and celebrities are going to show up for this? All the celebs are being invited. All the
Imagine.
celebrities are being invited to this. So that's going to be on Saturday. Sunday night. Monday, there's going to be his first press conference, which is going to be really big. And there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of reporters there. Tuesday will be his first training that the media is allowed to see. I don't know what he's doing before, but that's the first one we're going to be allowed to see. And then the first game will be next Friday, a week from tomorrow, against Cruz Azul, the Mexican team, in the opening game of the new inaugural Leagues Cup tournament, which is a new tournament between all the teams in MLS, and all the teams in Mexico are playing like a World Cup style tournament. And so the first two games are at Drive Pink Stadium. The first one with Cruz Azul. The second game is against Atlanta United on Tuesday, the 25th.
So
So tickets for
let me
that.
ask you something.
Yeah.
If your
Yeah.
Tata, if your Moss and company, you really are taking the US Open Cup and and this tournament super serious, right? Because really, the chances of you making the playoffs now, that's the sad part of it. We're not going to be able to showcase Messi probably in the playoffs of the MLS. right? But
Right.
at least the other stuff, they're still alive. They're still alive for the
Oh,
U.
yeah, they're
They're,
definitely gonna be pushing that because, yeah, US Open Cup, August 23rd is the semifinal. They're
right.
already in the semi. They are one win away from making the final. They're gonna play Cincinnati, and if they win that, they're in the final. They're in the championship.
Will
So,
Messi will Messi play those games?
yeah, yeah,
Wow. Wow,
yeah.
'cause Michelle, you and I follow this shit. Normally, you
Yes,
kinda
Messi in
hold
the
out.
US Open Cup. I
You
know.
kind you
Yeah,
kinda like next year, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play in the US Open Cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times you will hold out your stars for the US Open Cup. You won't go all the way, but because this team hasn't had a lot of success, I think winning the tournament with Mexico or the US Open Cup, I think it's really important for this franchise to have some success,
a
'cause
trophy. They need to have
yeah,
a trophy to
yeah,
put in the trophy
yes,
case. They
yes,
have a trophy case. They have a very nice big trophy case at the training facility, but the team doesn't have any trophies yet.
right,
So
right.
they would, if they would want to win their first trophy with Messi on Apple TV and in all the national whatever, international, not just national. They want the world to see Messi in the pink and black holding up a cup with all the teammates around him. I mean, that would be a very good visual for the league, for the team, for him. Yeah,
I mean, listen, think about this. You and I have gone to US Open Cups that are well attended for Miami FC. We haven't
right.
even seen it for Inter yet. Inter, they never, we haven't had the kind of team. And although they've had some success in the US Open Cup, they're always small crowds. Think about the crowds we're going to get for the US Open Cup now. It'll be sold out. It'll be an
Yeah,
amazing
everywhere he
scene.
plays, yeah, everywhere he plays will be sold out. Everywhere he plays will be sold out.
I'm
The
excited.
ticket prices are going up, and just so you know, for you guys interested in the opening game, the last I looked, which was yesterday, I haven't looked today, but they did put up bleachers, and they're putting in at least two of the corners, and they have it up on the Ticketmaster grid. You can see those seats. Those seats are 200 for the opening game and 145 for the second game against Atlanta on Tuesday. So you can get those corner bleacher seats are 200 for the opening game as of yesterday and 145 for the second game.
And there isn't a
That's
bad
the
seat in that
cheapest.
stadium.
There's nothing cheaper than that at this
And
point. Yeah.
that stadium is beautiful because that stadium doesn't have a bad seat. Even if you're up in the
No, there's
top,
no bad seats.
there's
Yeah.
no bad seats. It's a great stadium, really. The Moss brothers did a beautiful job with that place. All right, where the hell are they gonna fit all the media?
Well, the press conference Monday is going to be off site. They needed a bigger
No,
site
no, I'm
because they
talking
want
about
to have a
game
formal
day. I've seen
game
that
day.
press spot. Yeah,
Well,
you told me if there was
game
100
day, yeah.
yesterday. Oh my god.
Well, no, the game day media, a lot of people will not get credentialed. I mean, a lot of
Okay,
people will just not be able to get in.
right.
They're going to have 50 seats in the press box, and then they will have an auxiliary section in the stands with some more seats for media who will sit in the stands, but not too many seats because they can sell all those tickets,
Ah, they
right?
gotta
So they
sell
don't
them,
want to
man.
give away
Yeah.
too many. They don't want to give too many tickets for the media, but some media will be on the auxiliary section, 50 will be in the main press box, and then photographers and camera people will be downstairs. Um,
I
and
don't know
hold
I don't
on
know
one
if you've
second. I
thought
need to
about
talk to
this.
Tina before she goes. Can you tell her
Okay,
not to leave yet? Or
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I need to
okay.
talk to her. Okay. Anyway, so
But
yeah, so
listen,
it's gonna be
I don't
this.
know if you've
Yeah,
thought about this. I don't know if you've asked about this
Nice.
because maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Are they altering anything in the new stadium now that they do have Messi? I'm just wondering, are they thinking of enlarging it? Are they thinking of more suites? Are they thinking
oh, they are doing more suites. No, I did Jorge did say, Mas, that yes, they're gonna make it swoopier. There are gonna be more suites and more bells and whistles with
okay,
Messi in the picture. They want to really make it it was already gonna be a really nice first class stadium, but
of
yeah,
course.
they're gonna have the opportunity to draw big, big, big money, and everybody super rich is gonna want to rub elbows with Messi. So
Yeah, the stadium in
yeah,
Fort Lauderdale is first class considering they did that in 8 months, man. I mean,
yeah,
that stadium is beautiful, dude. It's such a great and the practice facility and the academy and all that. I mean, they did a phenomenal job. All right, one more question because I know you got to go.
I do.
You and I are part of the maybe only people, maybe there might have been another media member or two that actually covered the Soul. Okay, if you look at my studio pictures when I'm in studio, there's a Soul flag in the back there in my studio. So, word of another women's basketball team. What do you know about that?
I don't know much because I have
I
been
know.
buried in this.
I know.
I've been so out of touch with everything else. I do know that there is it's going to be a league that all the games I believe are going to be in Miami. I don't think it's a league around the country. I think it's going to be a Miami based tournament type, season,
Okay. Okay.
a little short mini season between some of the, they're going to offer, a certain number of teams with a certain number of star players on all these teams who will play each other.
Okay.
And I believe, if I'm correct, I believe the whole thing is going to be based in Miami. Yet
Okay.
another thing for us to cover, because Miami has become, let's face it, the epicenter of sports in the universe. Because we had uh the women's basketball team of makes their first Elite Eight. FAU makes the Final Four. makes the Final Four. The Panthers make the Stanley Cup Finals. The Heat makes the NBA Finals. And now Lionel Messi, literally, arguably the best player ever, if not one of the top three, some people would say best ever in the history of the world, is now here, right here,
Yeah.
playing for the little Miami over there on Commercial Boulevard. And then, we're gonna have a basketball league, women's basketball league. The idea was, after what happened to Brittany Griner, and that female basketball players have had to go overseas in order to compensate and make some money, because the WNBA salaries are really small for a lot of them, not for all of them, but and it's such a short season. So women's basketball players play in the WNBA and then they go overseas and play in Europe.
Right.
So in order to, and some of them play in countries that are a little sketchy, that they're not that comfortable with, but they go there for the money. So the idea is that this mini league in the United States would be a place that female basketball players can play and make some money for a few months in the off season without having to uproot their entire lives and go to Europe, to some countries that they may not be comfortable going to.
Right.
The Russian league was the league that paid the most money for the longest time. And now, that's not a place that some people want to go now. So with everything going on in that part of the world.
Yeah, it kind of helps when you go to Russia. You may not want to, carry some weed with you.
No, that's true too. But there are just, right now, that part of the
I feel
world,
bad for
there
her,
are
but
some
she
players
kind
that
of
don't want to.
yeah, I feel
No,
bad
yeah,
for her, but she kind of brought it on herself there. She kind of set herself up. It's like, if we're going to a certain place, you're traveling to certain countries, you may want to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
just
yeah. No, I
yeah,
hear you.
yeah,
I hear
yeah.
you. But that's all I know about that.
So
I have not had.
we don't
I
get a
will
team.
explore it.
So
I
we don't get
haven't
a
had
team.
time to explore it. Huh?
Okay. But it's not a team for us. It's a tournament. Okay. That's what it is. Okay.
No, I think it's well, there may be I think it's some kind of tournament, but all the teams are based in Miami.
Yeah,
I
because I
think.
don't think Mickey was. I think it wasn't a winner for him. It wasn't making money, so I don't think he was a
Right.
fan of having a team. So that's why I was wondering who's going to support it, who's the one that's going to run it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why
Right.
I had to ask you, because I don't know anybody else in the media that might be well connected enough to know about that. That's why I wanted to ask you.
Well, I will, as soon as I'm done with Messi craziness, Messi mania, I will explore that a little more.
Okay, that'll be about 4 years from now. Okay, great. Follow
Yes,
her on
right.
Twitter
Okay.
at Cough Sports. Catch her work there at the Miami Herald. As always, hang in there, by the way. Thank you for taking some time, but hang in
I'm
there.
gonna
I know
start wearing.
it's
I'm
crazy.
gonna start wearing elbow pads. I gotta start wearing elbow pads to the press conferences. Honestly, maybe a helmet
Maybe I
even.
should go
Yeah.
with you and I'll be your fullback. How about that?
There you
Okay.
go. You can
Okay.
block for me. All
I can
right.
block for you. Okay. All right, Michelle, you be good. See you later.
Take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. And
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.